A blizzard is now in the forecast for areas in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. In fact, we are waking up to blizzard warnings for areas. So we're here to go over all the new information that we have from the overnights and the morning model runs. We'll cover the mid-Atlantic first and then the Northeast next. And we'll go over all those model runs, all these snow graphics, everything. This thing will be jam-packed full of information. We'll talk a little bit about Canada and the Southern Alps also. My name is Mitch. Good Saturday morning. Hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful start to your new weekend. Subscribe if you haven't, like the video if you like it, and if anybody has anything that I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. Let's go over the Mid-Atlantic first. This is the new GFS run, and we're going to start it all off for the Mid-Atlantic at least with 10 p.m. tonight. I mean, this thing is right out ahead of us, guys. This is not 7 days away anymore. It is inside 24 hours officially now. So the green is rain. Any kind of blue you see is snow. And I'll try to mention the time frame as we go, but it's over here. If you lose me, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So this is this evening. So as we're making our way after midnight tonight, some snow overspreads West Virginia. Could start out some rain for areas of Virginia. And then we start to make our way into tomorrow morning. Around this time tomorrow morning, 24 hours from now, the GFS continues to like the idea of this pretty much starting out as snow for the DC corridor, Baltimore, northern VA, the panhandle of West Virginia, western areas of Maryland, and certainly getting into PA where it's cold enough for all snow. A little bit of a mix. I really don't think there's going to be much of any kind of freezing rain or sleet with this. I mean, we could have a little bit of sleet, but mainly just a rain or snow type deal. 95% of the precipitation will be that. And, rain switching to heavy, wet snow. And I'm telling you, the temperatures with this is going to be pretty marginal. This is not going to be a dry, cold, powdery snow. This will be a very wet, heavy paste-like snow. But as we make our way into about midday tomorrow, this is like lunchtime, 1 p.m. time frame over here if you lose me. Very heavy snow begins to break out. It could start out as rain and dramatically switch to heavy, wet snow. DC, point south, you see this darker color of blue. That is very heavy snow. 999 low popping off the coast here of North Carolina, Maryland, Virginia. Snow still falling heavily as far south as, Northeast Tennessee, the Southern Alps here. And then as we start to make our way into sunny afternoon, we get this banding feature showing up. And this could just be very, very heavy snow here. And then this is Sunday evening, tomorrow evening. And it's snowing as far south as Northeast North Carolina on this. We got some moderate snow breaking out, snowing heavily, if this is correct, across Richmond. It's still snowing heavily across DC, but the corridor of heaviest snow still, the GFS still likes the idea of this being over the Tidewater, the Delmarva. The low pressure is actually close enough where you're mixing with some rain and kind of the coastal areas of Maryland over here, but I do think eventually you'll dramatically switch overnight, Sunday night. It's a very heavy snow, and this is where a blizzard could crank up right here. Sunday night. And then as we're kind of pulling this storm away, this is Monday morning, still snowing heavily in the Delmarva, Delaware, southern New Jersey. We'll show you more of New Jersey here in a second. It's still snowing heavily in southeast PA. And light to moderate snow still falling at a pretty decent pace across West Virginia, western Maryland, and then the higher elevations of southwestern PA. And that actually continues all the way through Monday evening, all the way to Tuesday morning. In fact, it could still be snowing Tuesday night. It could be a long duration, what we call northwest flow snow event. Now, the latest Euro, I do think we have the new run. We're going to have to switch this. And yeah, this is the 06Z. So I hadn't even looked at this yet. The overnight Euro did tick a little bit back east after being dramatically west in the 18Z. Let's see if the 06Z came back a little bit further to the west. I do think the GFS and the Euro are kind of meeting in the middle right now. But same thing, 10 p.m., we got a rain-snow mix breaking out across West Virginia. And then as we begin, this is interesting, as we begin to make our way into Sunday morning, tomorrow morning, it's even showing a little bit of snow as far south as northern North Carolina. I don't know about this. Let's look at the temperatures with this. Upper 30s, cold air aloft moving in. We'll see. I don't know about that, but a rain-snow mix is what we'll call it across Virginia tomorrow morning. And then as we're moving forward, it's definitely different in the GFS still. The Euro and the GFS are still worlds apart. For example, this is Sunday afternoon on the Euro. Okay, this is Sunday afternoon on the GFS. Let's back it up here. Totally different, right? Got this band of very heavy snow on the GFS tomorrow afternoon. And on this, it's just rain. So what's it going to be? Okay, well, we continue. And that inverted trough look shows up. The Euro is just consistent on this. That regardless of how the storm starts, the way it kind of develops is still very intense. And so this is 10 p.m. Sunday night. And we got sort of this, it's called an inverted trough, but it's basically an area of kind of backside elevated moisture that gets going on the backside of a low pressure. And there'll be plenty of cold air worked in place now. And this is just heavy snow, regardless of if the actual surface low is close enough to bring extremely heavy snow into this area. I think that this little feature right here tomorrow night is going to get the job done across the mid-Atlantic. And I mean, you see Maryland, D.C., Baltimore, up to Philadelphia. This is a band of heavy snow. And this tries to get all the way down to northeast North Carolina, certainly gets down to Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Richmond. We got winter storm watches in these areas, and this is because of this feature still snowing back in West Virginia, Ohio. And then the system pulls away. Certainly not as dramatic as the GFS. Now, the NAM likes the idea of the GFS. And I think it's worth showing because I do think the scenario is possible. And this is the morning NAM, and here we go. I mean, as early as 1, 2 o'clock in the morning tonight, tomorrow morning technically, we got snow breaking out across West Virginia. Western areas of Virginia, snow moving into PA, Pittsburgh. And then by the time we're waking up tomorrow morning, it's around 8 a.m. You got rain switching to snow across areas of D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. It's snowing in the highlands of West Virginia. And check out what happens here. We start to make our way into Sunday afternoon, a little bit of a lull. This is like 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And this is some heavy moisture. You see some of these yellows here. This is heavy, cold rain. And watch how quickly it switches to snow. And I mean, look at all this snow back in Ohio. I know I haven't included you guys much, or Eastern Kentucky. There's just so much to talk about. But you guys are going to get a few inches of snow, give or take where you are. But watch what happens here. Kind of the first wave happens. And then it shows that backside heavy moisture. This is 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And it shows snow as far south as, I mean, just east of Raleigh. Look at this heavy snow in northeast North Carolina. Look at this heavy snow down in Richmond, D.C., Baltimore, everybody in between. I mean, was it Cambridge? Somebody made a funny comment, and I had to laugh. I mean, I think they were, I don't know the way they were trying to come off, but it seemed kind of rude, but I didn't take it like that. But they said, I never heard somebody butcher so many names. And honestly, I was reading the comments before I walked into the gym, and I thought it was hilarious, to be honest with you. I'm going to butcher a ton of names. But I try to get detailed. I try to get up close and personal, and I try. But there's a lot of heavy snow breaking out across Maryland, Delaware. And then we make our way into late tomorrow night. This is midnight tomorrow night. And it's still snowing. And look at all the snow still back in Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia. And I mean, look how long it takes for this snow to pull away. And I mean, it is still just there, Monday morning across the Delmarva, the areas of the Tidewater. And I mean, it's still spinning around. I mean, even you go all the way to the end of the run here. This is 1 p.m. Monday. It is still snowing in areas of Maryland, D.C., Baltimore, Dover. What is it? Yeah, a lot of these areas, it is still whipping out here. I'm going to cover more New Jersey in the Northeast timestamp if you're wondering, hey, Mitch, why aren't you mentioning New Jersey at all? But, we also got the HER model run here, right? And this only goes 48 hours out. But, I mean, it breaks this out. It really does a great job, I think, of showing the intensity of the moisture. Look at this heavy moisture in Virginia. And then as we make our way into Sunday morning, tomorrow morning, rain dramatically switches to heavy, wet snow. And I buy something like this. I mean, listen, I'm telling you, this is going to be the fat, cotton ball, beautiful snowflakes that I personally prefer over dry snow. I can't stand dry snow, guys. It just, I have a sour taste in my mouth here in the Carolinas from it over the last 2 winters. But as we're making our way into Sunday afternoon, you can tell how the HER model flirts with the idea of this having a hard time fully switching to snow across the mid-Atlantic, Delaware. You can see it's very splotchy, blue here, green here, indicating it's struggling at first, and then it dramatically switches to extremely heavy, just nuclear snowfall rates, if this is the way it actually plays out. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow. I would love to be here just to see it snow. I don't want to drive there, but I would love to teleport there. That would be awesome. But this is a dramatic switch to just ridiculously heavy snow if this is the way it plays out. This is 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I mean, good gracious. And, it wraps all the way down to northeast North Carolina. This is just an all-out snowstorm, 11 p.m., and we can only go out to about 1 a.m. Monday morning, and it's still snowing across this area. All right, so we got uber detailed on that, right? So this is the GFS and how much snow it's modeling. This is just one model run, but it's still showing a foot of snow in DC. It's still showing 8 to as much as 15 inches of snow across the higher elevations of West Virginia, Maryland, up into PA. I mean, it still likes this kind of bullseye right here over the Tidewater, Delmarva, just the coastal waterways of Maryland, of 1 to as much as 2.5 feet of snow. Delaware crushes you guys with a foot to 2 feet of snow, and even delivers a couple inches of snow, and even several inches of snow as far south as Richmond, down to the Hampton Roads area into northeast North Carolina. Now, what about the GFS? We're gonna have to switch this and look at this, and it's just more glitchy. It's not as put together. It shows kind of a void of snow here. This is more so northwest flow stuff. The higher elevations of West Virginia is going to get theirs. Several inches of snow, even all the way down to the mountains of Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee. And it's just a moderate snowstorm across the mid-Atlantic. Just a few to several inches, but it does show that inverted trough look here, where someone's going to get probably 6 to 10 inches of snow if something like the Euro plays out. This is the GFS. This is the Euro. You're probably thinking, dude, how in the world is this still worlds apart? It just is. It just is, guys. We only have what we have, guys, and this is these models. And yeah. So what about the NAM? Well, the NAM is kind of a combination between the Euro and GFS. It shows the crazy snowfall totals, but positions them, and it positions them in an area that I favor a little bit more, further east. But it's still snowing in some of these areas, by the way. This only goes out to Monday midday. But it delivers a few inches of snow as far south as northeast North Carolina. It delivers 3 to 5 inches of snow down to the Hampton Roads area, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, a few inches of snow also in Richmond, and over 1/2 foot in the DC to Baltimore, almost 10 inches of snow, and delivers over a foot for Philadelphia, and over a foot plus snowfall totals across Maryland and Delaware. And it even shows, sometimes the NAM overdoes these totals down here in the mountains, the southern Alps with these northwest flow stuff. But I mean, and this is the HER model. Now, what's interesting with this is, remember I showed you that very heavy snow on the HRRR model? Watch how quickly the snow adds up across areas of eastern Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. And listen, it is still snowing. I mean, this only goes out to 1 a.m. Monday. I mean, it is still pouring snow in some of these areas. So this is only part of the snowstorm. Now, what are the experts saying in the National Weather Service? This is the graphic for West Virginia. It even includes areas of Ohio and eastern Kentucky. But this is their graphic from around 5:30 this morning, hour and a half ago. Still, talking a big storm. This only goes out to 7 p.m. Monday, too. I still think it'll be snowing for some of these areas, but snowshoe 5 to 12 inches of snow, Elkins 3 to 14. Some wide ranges here, I know. And then we look at the big question mark area, right? DC, Baltimore. Are you going to get a couple inches of snow? Or are you going to get over a foot of snow? And I know it sounds crazy, but there's the possibility of that wide range. But this is this area, Annapolis, 4 inches, Baltimore, 4 inches, but if you look at the high amount, like right now, estimated snowfall is 3 inches for DC. But if you look at the 10% chance of the high amount is 15 inches of snow. So the high amount with this setup is very high. There's a 10% chance of this occurring. And I think there's a little bit higher of a chance of some of this occurring. Okay, so there's a high ceiling with this. And then you drop it down the southeast VA here. And let's update this, see if we have a new graphic. I think this is a tricky area. This is the new graphic, Richmond. Petersburg, about an inch and a half. Norfolk, about an inch. But there's certain areas in this area that could overachieve. If you get this inverted trough, this kind of enhanced area of moisture that kind of circulates down here. But, you can see the southern areas of Maryland, Cambridge, 8-9 inches of snow, Okomak. I know I said that wrong, but I think y'all pronounced that differently. But 4 to 5 inches of snow. But I want you guys to notice there's even a few tenths of an inch of snow that's forecast for areas of North Carolina. And then you look, and I'm gonna take a closer look at this too here in a second, but I do want to show you New Jersey. But this is mainly for Delaware, and right now going for around 8 to 12 inches of snow scattered across Delaware. Philadelphia, about a foot of snow is what they're forecasting. And you can see Eastern PA, the totals have increased since last night's video, a few inches more now in the forecast. But this is the 10% chance. This is the 10% high amount possibility. Middleton, however way y'all pronounce it, 2 feet of snow is the high amount possibility, not the forecast, high amount possibility. And then you look at areas of southern and central New Jersey. You see this burgundy color here? I mean, that's getting to 30 plus inch totals. And I think that there is definitely the possibility of this happening. Okay. Now we look at the estimated wind gusts, and we'll see if we have any new updated information with this. No, we don't. This is between now and Monday evening, and we have blizzard warnings, and I'll show you the watches and warnings map here in a second. There's actually blizzard warnings for the southern county here in Delaware, but 30, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Jersey Shore, scattered 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. We're going to get power outages. It's going to be an all-out blizzard for the Jersey Shore. This has trended into that aggressive look that was showing up on some of these crazy model runs like the GFS. This has trended towards that. And, so very strong winds. We're going to get some very strong winds. And also, I wouldn't be surprised we get an upgrade from winter storm watches to blizzard warnings in West Virginia. Not one bit. All right, we spent over 15 minutes on the Mid-Atlantic. Let's spend some time on New England. So, same thing. What we're going to do is go over some model runs, and then we'll talk about the snow graphics. And we're going to start off these model runs with around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Kind of first round, moving into PA, New Jersey, and this kind of might hit a roadblock before getting enhanced as a surface low develops and really deepens. But this is Sunday afternoon on the GFS, very heavy snow spreading across New Jersey, New York City, Long Island. We begin to move into 10 p.m. tomorrow night. You see the darker blues. This is even heavier snow. Blizzard conditions begin to develop. And then you see that 969 low. We're in the 960s now. Sub 970. And you see this extremely heavy snow in these darker shades of blue. It almost looks purple. We're almost maxing out the scale down here on weather belt. And this is extremely heavy snow for Long Island, New Jersey, New York City, even Eastern PA, even all the way up to Albany, New York City, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass. And then, this is like 10 a.m. Monday. You see that area of really dark blue? That is just, it's just an all-out blizzard of very heavy snow. Okay, it's still snowing back in New York City, Long Island, and then we take our way into Monday evening, and it begins to somewhat taper off, still dealing with some light snow, even moderate to heavy snow in Boston. This comes up and begins to hit the down east areas of Maine. Good chunk of Maine will see snow from this, and then it heads on off. Big event, heavy, wet snow. There's some similarities to this to say 2022, late January, but it's not near as cold. Now, what about the new Euro run? Same thing, 10 a.m. tomorrow. We got light to moderate snow breaking out across New England. The Euro is just different. It kind of backpedals this moisture a little bit on the initial push. This is Sunday afternoon. We got some moderate snow developing with that inverted trough. Look across PA, southern tier of New York. And then the surface low begins to crank, and immediately you see these darker shades of blue showing up, and then we get an all-out blizzard. And it's the same thing on the Euro. It's crazy. GFS 969, Euro 969. In fact, let's look at this really quick. Yeah, same placement, 969, Euro a little bit further offshore. Therefore, it positions the snow a little bit further offshore. But this is still an all-out blizzard. It's probably will be a colder setup if the low is a little bit further off. But regardless, this is an all-out blizzard developing across the Jersey Shore up into Long Island, New York City, southern coastline of Connecticut. We're going to get blizzard warnings up for Rhode Island. It might already be up by the time some of you guys watch this video. Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket. And then it really cranks up 968 low. Dynamics are going to really start to max off the scale here. And this is just a raging blizzard mid-morning Monday for Boston, south of everybody included into this. And then this rides up the coastline, still Monday afternoon, snowing in southern New England, New Hampshire. And then it comes up and really slams the coastal areas of Maine too, down east areas of Maine. And then it rides up the coastline. Now, what is the trend? If you compare this to, say, let's look at the run last night, which did shift east. And let's look at that low pressure. it almost looks like it's sped up. There's a stronger low pressure. Let's see if we can look at this again. Let's look at this, and then let's look at the trend. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a speeding up of the system, but it does look like the heavier snow is more inland at that time frame late tomorrow night. What about the NAM? NAM is crazy. I mean, it is just a diabolical amount of snow. So this is starting off tomorrow morning, and here it comes. We'll begin to speed this up a little bit, and it kind of does what the Euro does. It has an initial push of moisture, and then it kind of disappears, you know, from northern New Jersey, eastern areas of PA, New York City, Long Island. And then the main push of snow moves in. This is 10 p.m. tomorrow night, and this is just a ridiculously amount of heavy snow falling. A blizzard develops. I mean, look at these thunderstorms off the coastline. Look at this huge open low pressure here, and extremely heavy snow developing from New Jersey, Delaware, Long Island, everybody you see on your screen here. And I mean, look at this. Look at this area out here. I mean, it looks like an eye of a hurricane. And this is Monday morning. This is Monday afternoon, and we can only go 60 hours out. And then we can go all the way to the end of the HRRR model, and here it comes. And man, look at this snow. Good gracious. And we can only go out to about 1 a.m. Monday morning, and we got a blizzard developing, ongoing across pretty much everybody you see in blue. Really, especially, I would say, towards the coastline, New Jersey, Long Island, New York City. I feel like I'm recycling the same areas, Connecticut, Road. I'm just trying to mention everybody. Believe it or not, some people, I don't think, know where they are on the map, so it makes them feel better when you actually say out loud their state. It's crazy. I had somebody, not going to get too hung up on this, someone say, dude, you never mentioned Washington, D.C. You know, it's the capital, and I'm like, yeah, I do. But anyways, let's not get too hung up on that. But kind of a wide look at the latest GFS. This is what it's showing. You can see what the corridor of snow is. Let's take some closer looks at this. But anyways, drops just about 2 feet of snow on New York City. Just a lot, and they've definitely increased the snowfall expected for New York City. I'll show you that here in a second. But over 2 feet along areas of the northern Jersey Shore. It is a huge hit. And then we move up into, let's look at Mass here. Huge hit. And I mean, there's an area right here in Southeast Mass that has over 2 feet of snow. So I mean, this is some big time totals. And there's Maine too. Just a closer look at Maine. And then we look at the new Euro. Let's make sure we have it. This is the European model. And big hit too. Not as crazy. But I mean, it's still a big hit. And this would be a blizzard. But you can see there's a much sharper cutoff between just average run-of-the-mill snowstorm type totals for the Northeast standards to, you know, close to a foot along the Jersey Shore, Long Island. It delivers 9 to 10 inches of snow for areas of New York City. Now, what about the run overnight? What did it show? I mean, so yeah, that's a substantial tick back west. That it's not as west as the 18Z run. It went east on the OOZ, and the 06Z, it came back west. Now, same thing, we'll show you southern New England, and delivers foot plus snowfall totals for Rhode Island, Southeast Mass, 8 to 12 inch snowfall totals across Connecticut. It gives a foot of snow in Boston. Same thing. If you look at the run from overnight compared to the current run, that is a substantial tick northwest. So maybe the OOZ was a little bit of an outlier. We'll see. And then there's a look at Maine. Don't want to leave you guys hanging. Closer look at you guys here. And then this is just a ridiculous NAM, which honestly, it favors something like what the GFS is showing, the NAM. And it's still snowing. Remember, this only goes out to about 1 p.m. Monday. Still snowing in some of these areas, but it's going for 3 feet of snow along the Jersey Shore. Just a huge hit for you guys. And then we'll jump it up here to southern New England. Let me get some water real quick. This is southern New England. Huge hit. There's scattered foot plus snowfall totals. Dramatic cutoff here in southern New Hampshire, southern Vermont, and then central New York. But many people have said this, and I totally agree. These things have a tendency of being a little bit further north than modeled, so you might get more snow up here. Robin, I know you live in southern Vermont. You got to watch this system for sure. And then you look at the HRRR model. Remember, this only goes out to about 1 a.m. Monday. It is still snowing at a very heavy rate, and already through 1 a.m. Monday on the HRRR model, you know, you're pushing already almost a foot of snow in New York and already over a foot in areas of New Jersey. So, and then you look at winds, and wow, I just remembered I did not pull up the National Weather Service graphic. So I'm going to do that right now. So this is New Jersey, Eastern PA. If you missed it in the Mid-Atlantic timestamp, I want to show it again here. This is what they're calling for as of around 6:15 a.m. this morning. So 45 minutes ago at the time making this video. So going for some big totals. This is, I mean, they're going for 1.5 feet already. This is their actual forecast along the Jersey Shore. So a closer look at the New York City area. They always go with exact totals, but don't get too hung up on it. But they have dramatically increased their totals. This was issued a couple hours ago, but going for 1.5 feet along the southern shore of Long Island. A foot to 1.5 feet in New York City is what you might as well call it. But Bridgeport, New Haven, over a foot of snow is forecast. I mean, this is where we're going to get an all-out blizzard, guys. And this is the rest of New York. If I'm going too fast, just pause the screen. And then this is another high hit area. This is southern New England, Mass, Rhode Island, almost said New Hampshire, but Connecticut. Big snow is on the way. Boston, their first call. And this is through about 7 a.m. Tuesday. Could still be snowing for some of these areas, but 14 inches of snow in Boston, Plymouth, 14 inches, Providence, 15. And could actually have some mixing issues out in Nantucket. We'll watch for that, Provincetown. But big hit coming for you guys. And then this is Vermont, New Hampshire. This is through 7 a.m. There's still some big question marks once you get into this area. And then this is the rest of Maine. So big question marks, but this could be a big event for the down east areas in Maine for sure. And then this is winds. Forecast wind gusts from the National Weather Service. Like I said, Jersey Shore is going to get hit hard. I mean, 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Same thing with Long Island. I mean, this is forecast max wind gusts, but we're going to have consistent 35, 45, 50 mile per hour wind gusts throughout this area. We're going to have scattered power outages. I mean, it's going to be a pretty big deal. And then we move up to Boston. And, Boston, I think they're going with a max wind gust of over 50 miles per hour, but over 64, 50 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts is possible out on the Cape. And just blizzard conditions. I mean, that blizzard is on the way. I mean, you're going to get blizzard warnings if you don't already by the time I finish uploading this video. But strong winds possible up against the Maine coastline also. And speaking of these watches, warnings and advisories, let's update this. And nothing has really changed, but I do want to start off from the west. There are all winter storm watches up for West Virginia, Beckley up to Clarksburg, all the way up into the higher elevations of western Maryland and PA. And then we continue to have the winter storm watches as far south as southern Maryland and kind of east of Richmond here, and kind of going up into the coastal waterways and just the tide water of Maryland here. And we don't have any winter storm watches up for DC, but for Baltimore we do. But all this can change very fast in this area. Very, very fast. If confidence increases that something like the GFS or NAM is going to happen, then we're going to get winter storm warnings up for this area. And then it gets game on across Delaware. We got winter storm warnings up for Dover. And then we drop it down to Georgetown, the southern county here in Delaware. We have blizzard warnings up. And we could get blizzard warnings kind of expanded into Philadelphia and the rest of Delaware here. But the pink is winter storm warnings. The teal is winter storm watches. But these are blizzard warnings, guys. Blizzard warnings all against the New Jersey coastline. New York City, blizzard warnings. Okay? Blizzard warnings across all of Long Island. Blizzard warnings up against the coastal areas of Connecticut. And right now we just have a bunch of winter storm watches across areas of southern New England. But all these will be upgraded more than likely to winter storm warnings. And we'll definitely get blizzard warnings across this region right here. So a lot going on. I do want to mention a little bit on the southern apps here. We're going to get some rain switching to snow across the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee. And I'm going to look at the NAM here. Hopefully it's not overdoing it. Sometimes it can, but sometimes it nails it. But this is getting into tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be snowing definitely in the higher elevations of North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Eastern Kentucky. And this is going to continue. This is getting into Monday morning all the way into Monday afternoon. And it's still snowing heavily, especially in the Smokies, off what this is showing. Right now, there isn't any alerts, but I do think we're at least going to get winter weather advisories all the way down to the southern apps here. But the National Weather Service between now and Monday evening going for a few inches of snow down to this area. But this could increase. So Now, talking about Atlantic Canada, it's the GFS. It's starting off Monday mid-morning. So 10 a.m. GFS has a big snow event moving into Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. And then the low pressure gets close enough to potentially switch you guys to rain along the southern areas of Nova Scotia and the islands included. And this is 1 a.m. Tuesday. All snow for Newfoundland to boot. And then you guys maybe switch to rain too. I don't think this is going to be a huge snowstorm for you guys, the standards up here, but we'll certainly watch. Now this is the Euro. What does it show? I mean, it's pretty similar. We got a system you guys are dealing with on the Avalon Peninsula, Newfoundland, heck, this weekend. And then we got the next system moving in. Big time heavy snow to start off Monday across Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, especially southern areas of New Brunswick. And then a lot of heavy snow moves in Monday night and Tuesday morning across Newfoundland. And then there's that low pressure getting very close to the coastline here of Nova Scotia. It could switch you guys to rain. And the low pressure more than likely will cut right across Atlantic Canada, portions of it. This will probably bring some strong winds. But this is how much the Euro thinks it's going to snow. Well, this is the overnight Euro. Let's see what the 06Z. Not a whole lot different here, but just several centimeters of snow. Could get over 10 to 12 centimeters of snow. And this, equals to about, a few to several inches of snow here, I believe. No, this is inches. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so yeah. Same thing. So several inches of snow, 12, 24, maybe as much as 30 centimeters of snow based off what the Euro thinks. And then this is the potential wind gust with this. And let's bring it all the way out. Could get some strong winds. I mean, 80 to 120 kilometer per hour winds are possible. And this is max wind gust. So some strong gusty winds with this too. Now, I do want to mention, last thing we'll mention here, we do have a risk of severe weather down in areas of the deep south, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, low country of South Carolina, northern areas of Florida. Marginal risk, might get an upgrade with this. There's a 2% risk of a tornado within 25 miles in a given location in this area. So there's a tornado risk with this today. And just a risk of hail and wind, kind of a just low level of that. But just be careful with these storms today down here. And I do want to just kind of show you a run of the HRRR model run here. And this is starting off pretty much right now, I would say. And we'll have this line of thunderstorms that will continue through the morning hours if we can get this in motion here. And then we take our way until about early afternoon. We could have some additional thunderstorms developing from Hattiesburg south to Montgomery down to Dothan, Monroeville. You can see those storms down there in Mobile, Dothan. My face might be in the way, but it looks like your main action is moving in this morning into early afternoon. And then we take a look at Georgia and sections of northern Florida here in the low country of South Carolina. And as we're making our way through about 11 a.m., this is around lunchtime. I mean, there's some intense thunderstorms from Columbus to Macon, maybe south of Augusta down to the Charleston area. It's just, how much does this corridor down here warm up? Does it get the thermodynamics going? Definitely some thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado or two. I think I said tornado. That's a southern thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we upgrade to a slight risk with this today. Just be aware of this. We could have a bump up to a 5% risk of a tornado in this area. This is 6 p.m. Thunderstorms are kind of draping a little bit further south in Georgia. Just be aware of this. These thunderstorms could pack a punch. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again tonight.